You sit down to work. 12 minutes later, you're somehow watching a video about how octopuses dream. That isn't because you're lazy. It's because your brain is doing exactly what it evolved to do in a world that's louder and more distracting than ever before. Now imagine trying to stay focused while floating 250 miles above Earth. That's exactly what happened to NASA astronaut Frank Rubio. 3 months into his mission, his spacecraft developed a serious problem. Instead of coming home, he stayed in space for 371 days, the longest space mission ever completed by an American astronaut. When he finally returned, his muscles had weakened, his bones had lost a density, and he couldn't even walk without help. But mentally, he was sharper than when he left. How? Most people think focus is all about willpower. NASA learned the opposite. Systems beat motivation every time. Here's one habit you can copy today. Every morning, send one person a simple message. Today I'm finishing the report introduction and completing the draft. At the end of the day, send another. The introduction is done. I got stuck on the draft, so I'll finish it tomorrow. It doesn't matter if they reply. It doesn't matter if they even care. The moment you tell someone your plan, your brain starts treating it like a promise. Suddenly, wasting 4 hours scrolling social media doesn't feel like an option anymore. External accountability handles procrastination. But there's another enemy of focus, the worries inside your head. Astronauts deal with family problems, money stress, bad news from home, and health concerns while they're hundreds of miles above Earth. They can't fly home. They still have to perform. NASA doesn't tell them to ignore those feelings. Instead, they schedule them. Astronauts have private calls with psychologists, family video sessions, and personal journals. Every difficult emotion has its own place on the calendar. So when a worry appears during work, they don't fight it. They simply tell themselves, "Not now. You have an appointment at 6 p.m." Because the brain knows the worry will be addressed later, it becomes easier to return to the task. You can use the same technique. Whether it's money, a relationship problem, your health, or an email you're afraid to open, give that worry a dedicated 30-minute window in the evening. Whenever it interrupts your work, remind yourself, "Not now. I'll deal with you at 6. The thought may return once or twice, but eventually your brain accepts the schedule. Psychologists have used this technique for decades, and studies found that scheduled worry sessions can significantly reduce anxiety over time. NASA discovered the same solution through experience. The goal isn't to ignore problems. The goal is to deal with them on your schedule, not theirs. Even then, none of these techniques work if your brain is exhausted. NASA treats rest as part of the mission. A tired astronaut makes mistakes, misreads instruments, and becomes a danger to the crew. That's why every day on the International Space Station includes 3 protected blocks, 8 hours of sleep, 2.5 hours of exercise, 1 uninterrupted meal. These aren't rewards, they're requirements. Most people think, "I'll rest after I finish my work." NASA thinks, without rest, the work won't happen. 3 simple rules. Schedule your sleep. Take a real break about every 90 minutes. Eat an actual meal instead of surviving on coffee and snacks. Ignore these, and your focus will collapse before the afternoon. Finally, NASA ends every workday with one last habit, the debrief. Astronauts report what they completed, what didn't get finished, what went wrong, and what needs to change tomorrow. You can do the same in less than 2 minutes. Open your Notes app and write only 3 lines. What I finished, what blocked me, what I'll change tomorrow. After a week, you'll notice patterns. Maybe you always lose focus after lunch. Maybe Wednesdays are your least productive day. Maybe you work better with music. Small discoveries become small improvements. NASA even studies astronaut journals to understand why crews succeed or struggle on long missions. You can do something similar with AI. After 1 week, paste your daily notes into AI and ask, "What patterns do you notice in my work habits?" In seconds, you'll discover habits and obstacles you probably never noticed yourself. That's how improvement happens. Tiny upgrades repeated every day. This entire system has been used on missions where losing focus could cost billions of dollars. If it works in space, it can absolutely work at your desk. Watch it next.